the debut album from this new North American project, more specifically from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Sundressed is the first step in a work made with a lot of love and dedication on the part of Ashy Wolf, a work that is showy and disconcerting at the same time. Although I'm not a big fan of modern progressive music, which is based solely on the sound of gent guitar, Sundressed is a work that could convert us. For now, Ashley's voice is the necessary counterpoint to the heaviness we find here. Melodic and reminiscent of Geddy Lee at times. Then there are the guitars, frenetic and restless, which go beyond the usual gent fare and into fusion jazz. The songs, although short, manage to convey that progression in terms of composition that is often lacking in more modern approaches to the genre. For fans of modern sounds and for those who don't like them so much but have their horizons open, this could be a nice surprise.
The story we've heard many times before. Friends start a band, things go well, but then, for various reasons, they put down their instruments to devote themselves to family life, where a good job is essential. After some stability in their lives, the music bug takes over and they decide to create a new project, or pick up old ones, to give vent to their passion, which has only remained dormant. It's the story of many bands, and also of Bridge the Gap, a melodic punk/skate rock band that manages to combine this passion with a lot of talent, bringing us a proposal that easily captivates any fan of the more melodic and less explosive side of the genre.
Ray Alder is a name that needs no introduction, whether for his work with Fate's Warning or Redemption, two distinct approaches to progressive metal that complement each other. And this second album shows the vocalist going heavier on the progressive influences. This is not only surprising but also refreshing, adding another facet to progressive metal with his own personal stamp. This second album is therefore a very valuable addition to his solo career and one of the great works of progressive metal, managing without pretension to make a big impact.
It's impressive to see a band with a 50-year career still committed to being creatively relevant and wanting to challenge itself and present new and interesting paths with each new album. It's with this challenge in mind that the band set to work on this new album, a challenge they've overcome in our opinion. It sounds like classic Yes, even without much of the lineup from those days, and yet it sounds fresh and new. It's not about recapturing past glories, it's just about admitting what you are, having no illusions about it, and capturing the music that comes out of that process, based only on whether or not you want to repeat the previous moment. And they achieved this perfectly with an album with a class that we no longer thought was possible, although deep down we always suspected, or at least hoped that it would be. Art rock, progressive rock, symphonic rock, whatever you want to call it, it's Yes and it's excellent.
It's hard to take seriously a symphonic black metal band with a cover like this. However, bearing in mind that Efflore originated in Thailand, we can't be surprised by the different artistic choices that different cultures make. And musically, the boys don't even do as badly as the cover seems to suggest. Haunted Island presents 4 competent songs of melodic and slightly symphonic black metal that, while not surprising or captivating, don't compromise either. A step that could be important for their future.
What an excellent surprise, this Greek band who proudly falls into the "we love the 80s and don't care what you think" category. And that's just as well, because Heartstruck really is a declaration of love for the hard and heavy music of that decade, but it's also an excellent collection of songs that you won't want to stop listening to. If the skepticism is initially quite high, it begins to dilute as the album progresses, although there is still a monumental slip in the form of Dance with the Dead, which breaks the mold and goes for a more melodic tone reminiscent of Lordi. Still, a very positive balance and a great debut.
The debut of another Portuguese band. Rage and Fire brings together members and ex-members of bands such as Filii Nigrantium Infernalium, Ravensire, Ethereal, and many others, and their love and devotion to traditional heavy metal was already more than guaranteed. Especially after listening to the demo released in 2021, whose 3 original songs appear here in new versions. It would be easy to talk about Iron Maiden and Manila Road and we'd be done, but the truth is that despite these inevitable references, the band already has a very distinctive feel and an identity that, although based on the idea of classic heavy metal, sounds quite refreshing. As if the style wasn't 40 years old and we already knew it backwards and forwards, as if we'd been introduced to it for the first time and been impressed. Which is what happens in the end.
The fifth album from Soundscapism Incorporated, a project by Bruno A., known for his participation in projects such as Arcane Wisdom, Vertigo Steps, and Architects of Rain. Bruno is joined by Daniel Cardozo on drums, Manuel Costa on bass and Amato Pero on vocals. Initially, this project came about as a way for Bruno to continue musically after Vertigo Steps ended in 2014. The idea was to take a more ambient, cinematic, dream pop approach, with various mutations and evolutions over the course of 4 albums. Here the idea has turned to something more visceral, more rock, but still keeping the cinematic imagery as a backdrop, something that works perfectly, we must add. Versatility in the music that makes us think of post-rock as well as trip-hop, Catatonia as well as Porcupine Tree, a richness of moods that doesn't even result in a musical identity that is too diffuse. But more than that, what we have is a really great album.